Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fan Game Follies. I have to undeafen this, and then I have to unmute this, and there we go. I am now in the Discord chat with two lovely people.
Hello.
My name is David Kutchik, and my camera's not turned on either, so that's my bad. So
all your well-laid preparations.
The best laid plans.
Yeah, we
of
were
mice
just
and
talking
man.
about how much of a nerd you were for preparing.
I'm just too cool for.
You're just too cool for
I'm
a camera.
literally too cool for school. In this case, UW Milwaukee. So while I am configuring my webcam, let's chat with the two lovely people I'm joined by right now. Of course, I am David Kutchik. I am the host of Fan Game Follies, and I am a PhD student, first-year PhD student here at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And I'm joined by two lovely people who will introduce themselves. Oops.
I
Wrong
am
camera.
Morgan Forbush. I am a master's student in cultural anthropology here at UWM, and I once again will know nothing about Zel-duh. Nothing has changed since last week.
Hello, Hard Sell.
You haven't done any research? What? You didn't research? No, all right.
I should have.
I'm Ren.
I should have gotten a reading list from David.
I have a Zelda and psychology book.
Oh, cool. I am Ren. I'm a master's student at UW Milwaukee. I know a little bit more than Morgan does. I've played a little bit of Legend of Zelda, and I am very familiar with fan content around Majora's Mask, specifically alternate reality games, since there was a big creepypasta and alternate reality game explosion in that arena.
So I realized. Oh, can one of you pull up the
land acknowledgement?
That would be wonderful. I also just realized before we get into that I named my character after Serious Play, which now unfortunately is Serious P. So anyway,
well, if I stop talking for an extended period of time, I guess you guys know that I was going to go take a serious pee.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Oh,
I have two containers of water here.
There you go.
But is that? I don't know if that's I don't think I can take this bit any further before it gets weird.
No, yeah.
It's the line.
Yeah, so let's read our land acknowledgement and then get to getting.
Yes. Let's make sure I don't mispronounce anything this time.
Okay.
We acknowledge that in Milwaukee, we live and work on traditional Potawatomi, Ho-Chunk, and Menominee homelands along the southwest shores of the Michigami, part of North America's largest system of freshwater lakes, where the Milwaukee, Menominee, and Connecticut rivers meet, and the people of Wisconsin's sovereign. I always freeze up on this one. Yes, Anishinaabe, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Oneida, and Mohican nations remain present. The only other time that I've had like an experience with my mouth where like I fail to like read things like that is reading Paradise Lost, actually, for an extended period of time, which I think is actually maybe horrible in that it means that I am so unadjusted to native words that as a part of American culture that like they are completely alien to my vernacular.
Now,
I don't
to
think
be
that's a good
fair-
thing.
Well,
now, to be
but
fair,
part of it
is. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say part of it points, to the multiplicity of it, and there
Yeah.
is no one indigenous, even though we're in the space of what's now present day U.S., right? Even the indigenous words that we grew up with and know are so vastly different from those in different areas of the modern day U.S. So I think it's fine, and but it's important to acknowledge, right, that the pronunciations are different because these are different cultures, right?
Yes.
And there is no one like lexicon of indigenous speech.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
And I think people in Wisconsin and other like Michigan as well, a little bit of Illinois, they have a lot of Native American place names still within the vernacular, like Milwaukee and Waukesha and all that kind of stuff. So people who live around here might hazard a guess better than someone who's not from
Oh,
around
I'm sure.
the Midwest. So do not feel bad.
Well, it's
Okay.
I more mean to
Before-
bring it up simply. Sorry, David, go ahead.
While we're having this conversation, it's great. Morgan and Ren.
Yes.
This is part of what makes fan games a joy and also difficult to play through. So I totally forgot to write down the name or write down the code for our for the hideout. So if one of you could go back to
no.
the YouTube video that's premiering right now and see what the code is, that would be wonderful. This conversation's great. Let's keep having it. But I need some backup.
All right,
Oh my
because we
God.
tried to tell the story of.
I know you
the story
forgot
of
the
this
code.
I forgot the code. I forgot the code.
You forgot the code.
I forgot the code. And you know what? It's okay.
Well, I will keep this on in the background because since it's premiering, I can't skip around. So when it comes up, I'll let you know.
Yes, I've ruined it. Look at me, haha. I am here to ruin
That's
your
okay.
thing.
While we're doing that, I'm gonna try to do the Dekuland playground then that I kept failing at last time. We're just gonna keep doing it until we get that.
Yeah. But I mean, all I was gonna say earlier is just like, man, maybe it'd be a good idea in the American education system to, teach people like enough history that they can pronounce these things or like know about them enough to be aware, so it doesn't. Because I feel like that's the main thing that this reveals to me is I feel bad about it every week, but really it's just that wow, I really have zero education in this stuff. Holy shit.
Hard sell? No, I have not done day one, but the standard setting that I'm using has a hard. I think you only have to do it, or do you have to do it all 3 days? You're right. You know what? I'm just gonna do it once and see what happens. Because I'm perfect, so I'm just gonna get it the first time automatically. Even though I failed like 3 times last time, all in a row. All right. No. Okay. I already failed.
You already failed.
I already failed. That's okay.
Oh my god.
We're just waiting.
It's just gonna go. It's gonna go well.
You got this.
I'm just gonna go to the middle first. Yeah, what I did before is I started with like the outside loop and then I went from there, but I think I might just have to start from the middle this time. Nope. Nope. Oh, okay.
Oh boy, this looks like a mess. Ooh. You got this, David. This is top tier.
Top tier.
You are you've been practicing for your whole life for this show and this moment.
Well, I have played this game so many times. It's a darn shame that I didn't get it the first time. Oh no! This is my Markiplier moment.
Oh no.
It would be really funny, I think, like, I thought about this the other day, to, like, invite somebody like Markiplier onto a stream like this and just fish out of water.
Be like, Markiplier, so how do you feel about,
On fan game.
Yeah.
Oh, no! Why
Oh,
am I
I'm sure
doing this?
Markiplier has a lot
I'm
of
so
feelings
dumb.
about fan games. You know?
How to set up... Yes, that would be fun.
Majora's Mask Online? There's like a...
You can play together.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
So, and, like, somebody could do this for me. Instead of me. Luckily, I have access to, like, 200 rupee chests. Very easily, so. We're going down. There we go.
Oh my god, have you really? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. You know, my memory can be real shit all the time.
My strategy's working.
I think hard sale's just salty that you keep doing side quests. That's what it is.
Oh my god, I don't even play. We don't even play Final Fantasy 14 together. Look, man, the only thing I'm expecting to play. Well, that's not true. I'm expecting. We should play some Risk of Rain again sometime, especially with that update coming out. But like, I'm getting into Monster Hunter. That's the next thing that like I'm looking at and thinking that
That was a close one.
like World.
Oh, like World? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you
yeah.
seen the stuff for Rise? A lot of my FC are really excited about it.
This will be my first Monster Hunter experience if I get this game, and so I don't know shit about Monster Hunter. It just looks fun. Yeah, David. Hell yeah.
Did it.
He did it.
What'd I get? Some bomb shoes that I can't use because I don't have a bomb bag.
Woo!
Oh well.
So
Top tier randomizer.
But now I can adjust my emo tracker a little bit to know what that is.
I understand your first day.
Oh, it is beat
went
all 3
really
days.
well.
You're right, hard sell. It is all 3 days. Well, oh well. What can you do? I think I might have to restart that. Because I didn't save the old lady night one. I need the 1,000 rupee deposit there. I need to get into the telescope area. That's my next thing. Deku Palace, piece of heart. I might need to go through the Deku Palace too. Oh gosh. Okay. We are going to go back to day 1. I'm going to play the Song of Time and we're going to go back there. And whenever that pops up, Ren or Morgan, if y'all want to tell me what the code is, that would be wonderful.
Do I need to get my own get my ocarina out of my closet? Does that work?
If that's what you want to do. Oh, I should go deposit these rupees though.
deposit those rupees.
Always the bank.
The bank gives you stuff, right?
Yes. So I already did the 200 rupee deposit prize, but there is a 1,000 rupee deposit prize.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think your first day of this run went? Like in terms of.
I mean, well, good in some ways because I got the Zora mask and the Deku mask and
you also
the
got
bow
the
and arrow.
bow and arrow. Yeah.
And magic. So like overall pretty good, but if this were a speed run, I did not do it efficiently. But if it was just like a normal playing like I'm doing right now, that's fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more so restarting right now just because I don't have anything else to do until I get that code. I should have just looked at it when I was uploading it to YouTube 21 times, but there you go.
God. Yeah, I can't. I went in and I was like, why are there 22 copies of fan game Follies?
Well, Ren, if you go into the studio editor, you should be able to see from there. Like you should be able to access the whole video in there.
Yeah, let me
Even though
try to
it's
do that.
now. Okay,
What was it, like,
slow down
30
time.
minutes? It was the first half.
Yeah, it was the first half.
I'm not entirely
It was
sure
one
how
of the
long
first
it
things I did because the bow was one of the first things I got.
Oh yeah.
Is the code randomized to your play session, or is it just
Yeah.
a code?
Yes.
It's randomized.
Oh God.
It was randomized for every system, basically. Like there was no rhyme or reason to the one you got for your playthrough of the game.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Oh,
this,
is it
you
just-
could get the code again in 5 minutes. That's true, but I do have some things I want to do. There are some chests that give me 200 rupees, which will be very beneficial. Actually, I know exactly where they are.
But it's not as much fun if we don't do it the stupid way.
Exactly.
Yeah, like.
I mean, last time I was like,
Active
Ren needs something to
failure.
do. Ren does not have enough going on in their life.
Oh my God! Please do not kill me.
They need this, okay?
This is the most exciting thing I've done in the last 5 years.
Well, I'm not joking, so
Do you remember if you got the code before or after you got the bow?
after. If I believe. Oh yeah, by the way, Ren, the Deku, yeah, there we go. There's the huge rupee. That is exactly what I needed. Almost everything is replaced by P-hats and Beamos, so that's not fun.
Oh no.
yeah, the randomized monsters.
Yeah, there's an enemy randomizer that was just added, a beta of it, to the software, and it's been good. It's been a fun challenge because I've played through a couple of rounds of just like the standard randomizer, and then I'm like, let's add this little bit to it.
Mm-hmm. It's just the extra little bit of randomness.
Oh, look at that. We're getting hosted.
Well, I'm getting
Check
hosted.
that out.
That's right. I'm getting hosted.
You're getting hosted.
Um,
Hey! I
Hello,
believe
Cricket GG7.
that's one of our new friends from the Looking for Good Discord.
Hey, how's it going? You get to see me struggle a little bit.
Would you say mistakes have been made out of that decision? Yes.
Oh, Monster the Monster Generator? Randomizer? Yeah.
Or hosting me. Either way, that's rude. That's undervaluing my abilities as a gamer and a researcher and a scholar.
Hard Cell is like, I think that was a mistake, and you're like, excuse me, let me,
I am from the Midwest, but I do love a little bit of irony.
Do you see this PhD I'm earning? That means I'm certified in not making mistakes.
My name on Twitch is PH David, so I'm kind of a big deal. 0 followers, but I don't need followers. I've considered, because like when I'm gonna play like Pokemon randomizers or that kind of thing, it would still be fun to like keep streaming it, but obviously it's gonna take like way more than a month to stream a Pokemon like for 2 hours a week. So I would do it like on that extended one on my other Twitch, you know.
You just have to be good at. You just have to be good at playing Pokemon.
Yeah,
you
that's
can get
true.
it done within 10.
Well, and you can speed
8
it up
hours.
really quick.
Yeah, if you're emulating, that's probably one of the best things about the emulating.
Oh my
of
gosh,
Pokemon.
emulating things to make them faster. Can we just talk like both scholarly and like just in everyday life makes everything so much better. Shoot, I'm messing this up.
Just speeding things up by 1.5.
God, are you one of those people
I
who
speed up
watches
Pokemon
all of
by,
the
like,
YouTube
4.
videos on like 2x speed?
No, I don't watch things.
I
I just play Pokemon that way because I like. Unfortunately, know so much about it that I don't need to see any of the text.
Like, oh, this is where Giovanni, and yep, this is where. Okay, yep, up there, yeah, okay, yep, I understand. Let me fight.
Oh, I just missed the time. Shoot, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh.
But I didn't lose any rupees because of it. And Ren, I'm still waiting.
I'm still trying to find it, okay?
Just kidding.
Look, man.
Well, and what's nice about a lot of emulators is that a lot of emulators will, put in... Why did I do this? That was a dumb move.
A lot of emulators will put in.
So emulators like RetroArch, which is what I'm using right now. Some of them have speed up functions, some of them don't. RetroArch is a multi... it's not an emulator for one specific system, but it does like a multi... basically, you like download cores, and then the software, like once you upload the core to the software, and then you like select it, it then acts as the emulator for that system. And so like sometimes for a software like that, the fast forward function doesn't necessarily work as cleanly across all games and all systems you use, or all cores you use. But other emulators have like speed up functions. So I use Desmume or Desmume or however you want to pronounce it for the to play like Pokemon Black and White on my phone, and that I can just use a 4 times speed. It goes very quickly, which is nice. Oh gosh, am I gonna make this? I'm not gonna make
I
it,
like that you feel the need to like tell us that 4 times speed goes very quickly as if it could go very slowly.
Hey, it could be
it goes a lot faster than you think it would, though.
It's like 200cc versus 100cc in Mario Kart.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to set my emulator to 200cc mirror mode.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Hard Cell. I'm talking about RetroArch, and if you can explain the software a little better than I can, that's always good.
I see.
Emulators are interesting.
And some games. So I play a lot of Pokemon fan games too, and there are several Pokemon fan games where you don't play it through an emulator. Most
really?
Pokemon mods, like if it's a mod of an existing game, then you play it through an emulator typically. But I've played several Pokemon games that have been made using assets from Pokemon Essentials, which is like this package of software you can use to turn RPG Maker into a Pokemon Maker, basically. And with games like that, you just play them like it plays on its own software, basically, rather than an emulator. I don't know the official term for that. But...
Yeah, and I think there's some Pokemon games that are made through like RPG Maker, aren't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pokemon Essentials is a group of software you can use within RPG Maker.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Ren and because I don't emulate very much, so I'm like 100% noob with emulators. But like,
That's okay.
how does the emulator for like, because Pokemon Black and White is a DS game. And it's built on the DS.
Yes.
So how does, like, I can imagine like emulating Wind Waker on my computer. You know, you can kind of get a GameCube controller and play, you know, on the GameCube controller on your PC and kind of get the similar experience. But what is it? How do you play a DS game and get the same DS feel through an emulator? Is that possible? And do you think it's necessary to experience what the game designers wanted you to experience?
No, because the point of an emulator, I don't think, is to give you an experience. It's meant to give you the game.
Okay.
But it's not meant to give you the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's like a weird group of like people doing emulation out in the world who are like, we want to give you the experience, because it seems to be something that like it happens in a lot of modding communities. Is like you have people who are like, oh man, we're gonna be as purist as possible about every decision we make. Yeah.
There are some that are like that, and that's a lot easier for emulating systems. Oh shoot, I'm not tall enough. Also, any update on the code? I might just go look for it myself.
You might want to go look for it yourself. I don't know where to look.
Right now you're catching the small children. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Okay, good.
We're catching the small
I'm gonna
children.
go over to the gallery.
Also, did you just call the esteemed organization, the Bomber Gang Kids, the small children?
Yes.
That's what I
How
know
dare
them as,
you.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Oh, here we go. Wait. You're right. I'm right at the code right now.
Okay.
We're close. You got the notebook, which is actually purple rupees. Good. The secret code.
I swear if it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
It is
Oh my god, wow,
31254.
31254. Awesome.
spam it at us whenever David needs it.
This is the only time I'll need it, I think.
Spam it at us whenever David doesn't need it.
Yeah, put it in the chat
4.
just so we can see it. Just so it's
Inflate
there.
our
Also,
analytics.
I gotta remember today, today on the first day, there's something at the stock pot inn I can get right away. From, I forget what time.
Hey, I'm not calling Jenny, Hearts.
No.
I'm not calling Jenny. I can't turn to her.
What the? My controller doesn't want to work. Okay. 3, 1.
You don't deserve to play this game.
Honestly, I don't.
Remember when I was like, oh, I'm sure it's a 5-1. I was completely and totally wrong, David.
Well, we were close. We knew that one
There
was the
was a one.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, and because I have the bomb mask, I can get this chest back here. And I know there's...
So, with other scholars running around in the background. It would definitely be
What
me
if
going, David, what do I do?
Oh!
Oh!
I got
don't know
double
what
the
that
magic power. That's
Wow,
cool.
wow.
Ooh! I don't know
That's
what you do
very
with that
good.
magic power, but very good, very good.
Yep, okay. And now it changed that in Emo Tracker to be the big pot now rather than just the small jar. Okay, and this is good because now I can... Oh no! I forget that thing's invisible.
Forget that
Oh,
thing.
usually it's not invisible, but because of the enemy randomizer, they made it.
No.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
So talking about like remixes and things. Talking about remixes and Fuser. Today's Thursday, so yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that randomizers remix the game experience? David, Brent, me. I'm just
Sorry,
asking
I'm trying to
questions.
kill this thing. So it's I think when it comes to emulation, it's a little bit different than remix culture.
But I was talking about like randomizers in specific.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't hear all the way because I was trying to defeat the
You're fine.
invisible enemy.
The invisible enemy.
Well, it is a remix in some ways, right? Because you're taking the assets that are all within the game and kind of mixing them up, switching it up into a new experience, for a new aesthetic experience, and also like I think part of what makes randomizers a bit different than, of course. Okay, sorry, I gotta look through here. And I'll show you in a little bit. So you get to see on the pedestal next to the old man what you get for staring at Skull Kid, and for me it's just 20 rupees.
Oh, good.
Good,
But,
as it should be.
What was I gonna say?
It's not quite remix culture. It's a little different. It's kind of what you're.
Yeah, because I think especially with randomizers, part of the because part of what remix is like the emergence of the choices people make, right? So like the choice to put one song on top of another within Fuser, it's within the limits of what you have access to materially in like Fuser or in the real world. You know, like for example, I only have access to these tapes, so I'm going to make a mixtape using this like crappy GarageBand software if I was, you know, somebody in like 1999, for example. Right, that's materially what's available for me at the time. And part of remix culture comes out of choosing, kind of like collage, right? You choose what's available to you and you choose to put them on top of each other in particular ways to form particular meanings and develop new meaning out of what has already existed. What makes this a little bit different is that you do get to choose like what the randomizer will randomize, but you never hello alert, but you never fully get to choose like what is going to layer on top of what and in what way, right? It's chosen for you randomly through the software. So like that makes it just a little bit different approach to remix, whereas other forms of remix culture are very much interested in what's the creative potential of the person taking the material they have and mixing it up in a new or altered experience. And this doesn't allow for the player to choose exactly what goes where. So it's still you know, remixed, and especially with the programmers, right? What they choose to include and what you can remix and what you can't, I think is part of that, you know, decision-making process. But it's still a little bit different than, you know, other types of remix production and consumption.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And it makes sense that there's some sort of, I guess it kind of goes back to like Ryan was talking about authorship, like how much remixing
$imp
creates a authorship of what, you know, they've remixed and made. And I guess this isn't because it's randomized by a program, and you know, seeds can be different and stuff. I don't think there's really like necessarily an authorship of the randomizer or like a playthrough of the randomizer, because it's just kind of random. I guess I don't know.
It totally depends on whether or not you think whether or not you think intentionality is necessary, and to what degree intentionality is necessary.
That's true.
And that's messy as hell. Like we could spend the next 16 years debating that and get nowhere.
Definitely, right? But for the people who are participating in it, right? For something like rap remix cultures, the artist is an important part of that. Yeah. Right? Whether or not we think like in academic terms it's important, for that culture it is important. Whereas for something like this, there are people who you know, run the randomizer, who do the updates, but they're not like but it's not the artist in the same way as thought of with music culture, or
Yeah.
say you know, an art filmmaker or documentary filmmaker, right, who takes clips from of the movies and layers them in ways, right? That's very more of an artist focused production, not in academic wise, but in cultural conception.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas this, the community is a lot interested, at least from what I've seen on the Discord, which is kind of where the main conversation for the randomizers have taken place. It's a lot of interest in the streamer, right?
Whoa.
And
Sorry,
the emergence of the seed, right? I think part of what Binding of Isaac taps into that's similar to this, right, is the randomization leads to encounters that are so completely outside the bounds of what we typically think of this video game having, and that is part of the pleasure of the randomizer in a game like this.
Okay. So the kind of the idea of like kind of what I'm getting is like the authorship of like the pleasure is like comes from the randomizer, and and if you're streaming it, that performance aspect gives it some sort of meaning to the actual like stream, I guess. I don't know. Like the streamer becomes the mediator of it, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
What screenplay theory like or like help book this comes the phrase like, oh hey, look at that, co-starring the fire department, everybody.
Sorry, I don't care. Fire department's here, but guess what? So's the Goron mask. I got all the masks, baby.
This stream is just too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle.
I live next to a fire department, so I can understand your.
I live next to the Shorewood Fire, and I live next to the Shorewood City Hall Fire Department and Police Station.
Apparently, we're just a bunch of arsonists because we all live next to fire departments. So.
No, we're the opposite. Because if we were arsonists, that'd be bad for us.
Oh, that's true. So we're not arsonists.
I was about to say that I live next to Whole Foods, so I think that makes me whatever the firefighter equivalent of a business executive is. But I guess it just actually makes me the arsonist who doesn't live near a fire department.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over to the ranch because now that I have the Goron mask, I can now carry the bomb over to the Romani Ranch.
Is that like fun. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Arsonist Club is what came to mind. I don't know why.
Is there top arsonists in your area?
It's like one of those incredibly invasive pop-up ads on like, I don't know, Schmoop.
Yeah. Oh my god, Schmoop.
Snopes. I don't know.
Okay, so somebody remind me that at 1:45 p.m. in game I have to go to the room reservation. Oh, I can do all right, so I'm gonna do some stuff in town, so I will make sure I'm not out of town when that pops up. But yeah, at 1:45 in the game, I have to go to the hotel.
David, I think at 1:45 you have to go to a hotel.
Thank you.
I reminded.
Yeah, you did your job. There's nothing else to do.
That's such a low joke. I'm so sorry. You didn't give me one you needed to be reminded.
At the hotel, you have to be there. Yeah.
So with this treasure chest game, as someone who has played the game a lot, my sense is to not go that direction and instead go around. Okay. Oh. Oh shoot, did I go the wrong way? I might have gone the wrong way.
Looks like your senses were imperfect. Yeah. Look at that. No matter how many PhDs you have,
nothing will save you.
Yeah.
Okay. I still might be able to get there. Oh no!
Haha, you've been fooled. You've activated the trap card.
Oh no! I'm so close. Oh well. I'm gonna have to do that again.
Oh wait.
I assume this is also random every time.
Yes. Actually, no, I think there's like a random thing of like 10
there's like
or something.
Paths and you have to, okay. So this is one of those.
But it is a random path every time. It picks from like a pool of paths. Ooh, luckily there's this 50 rupees here. so I can play this game a couple more times.
Yeah.
Yeah, having that solid, like, chest of, like, 200 or 100 rupees is really helpful for this game when you start up a new playthrough.
Because it definitely helps you get to certain chests and playthings to get access to the chests. It's all about access. Access to the chests. It's really hard to say the plural of chests.
Alright, let's do it!
The rest of the stream is just you on loop, trying to say, yeah, we're done with the commentary,
I have
guys.
a speech impediment. No. I do have problems with S's. There's certain times where I just stop saying a word and go, I'm not gonna try it. You know what I'm saying. Because I'll try like 5 times and just give up.
Oh, yeah, I've been there too, yeah.
Ah.
Just like, it doesn't quite want to come out, and you're like, oh, well.
Well, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yeah, you can intuit what I meant. I said what I meant.
You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me? Okay.
You got this, dude.
I made it! I'm gonna make it. Okay.
Okay, you got this.
We got it.
As he runs into a wall.
It was a recovery heart. No. No. Oh well.
Ah.
What can
You know
you
what
do?
sucks? You know what sucks about the like recovery hearts is that they're no longer where they're supposed to be in the game. So when you need them, you're no longer going to have it.
Well, you can still get them from grass and stuff.
Oh, I was thinking like
they're-
recovery hearts like the ones that give you like the full hearts.
Oh yeah, those are random too. But you can do it where like every single item you have access to can be randomized, but I don't want to do that because I'm crazy enough as it is. Okay, I just
You're like, I randomized monsters. That's a step too far.
Well, really what you should have done is randomized your button inputs, so...
Oh,
God.
It's
hard enough to emulate. It feels like it's randomized because I don't have a C-pad, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the one thing about, when you develop a game, I tend to think developing a game for a controller is a good thing. I think it's really interesting to be able to work a control system into a program with like extreme precision, but it does run into issues. Like, when somebody doesn't have access to that control system.
And emulators, that's
use it.
Yeah, that's another thing that a lot of emulators do well, is that often the communities around that use the emulator develop like for RetroArch, there's a bunch of settings that you can download, so you can be like, every time you have the N64 controller, you can just download the setting that will automatically assign buttons, to the type of controller you have. So that gets really slick too, right? Because that's part of the emulation process, is adjusting how you used to be able to control it to your new controller. And basically, because the N64 controller, while iconic, is very stupid.
It's a horrible design.
Logitech is not going to design an N64 style controller for mass consumption.
No.
So
Never gonna happen.
I think Hardcell called it the trident of malpractice, which I think I agree with.
The gaming
I
trident.
got a magic bean. I got a magic bean from this. Okay. It's good to know that is there. I can mark that off my list.
Oh, did you go to hotel at 1:45?
I did.
Oh, good.
Did you go to the hotel at 1:45? I'm not sure that you did.
I did.
They remade the Duke. What is the Duke?
Okay, now I need to go buy that big bomb and go to the ranch.
All right, actually, I have...
Oh, I did not realize that was the name of the Xbox controller. I just called it the Chonk.
If we had like, I just want to know, if you had said I'm reaching for my chonk to play like Xbox or something, I would be confused as to whether you were grabbing a controller or your cat. So like, Also, I think somebody's just giving me license.
When I was 5 playing. Yes, I also did. Yes, I did hard sell. I was also 5, so we're the same age. The big honking controller. I remember my brother. I used to always get killed by my older brothers and my mom and dad when we did like LAN parties of Combat Evolved because I had too small of hands for the big controller, and then they had a bunch. Oh, you had a Mad Cat controller, because before Xbox released the official small versions, Mad Cat released smaller versions.
Yes, the
And
fight stick
yes.
people. That's
Yeah,
what they're
Mad
good
Cats. Good.
at. Mad Cat.
And so, yeah, Mad Cats. So I have this white Mad Cats controller from all the way back then, and it still works. Somehow.
If we ever do a hardware show on Serious Play, even as a special, we gotta call it Mad Cats.
Mad Cats.
It's really
Because
fun.
that's just a small controller. It's great. It works. It worked really well. The baby Mad Cats. Oh my god.
I look.
Oh, I need to fix my Xbox original.
Yeah,
They
what
have
was
bad
the point? What was the
capacitors.
point of the turbo button? What is the point of a turbo button? Why is it there?
I think the turbo buttons live. So, you know, in the old games, like in the NES and the SNES, they had like the, like let's run marathon and like let's do the Olympics. They wanted you to like to spam the A button, so that's why you had the turbo buttons on some.
Oh, really? Was it to? Okay, I didn't know
To
there was
not
like an
break your
actual
controller
reason.
for those. I presume that's the reason.
I don't
you know,
know.
in the Wii, where you just like vigorously shake your controller, they had that except pressing the button really fast, so they would break controllers.
So it was actually for a reason. Okay.
I think that's the reason for it.
Man, then what I really need is like
Yeah. Hard sell.
fucking a turbo button, but on a Sega Genesis controller, so I can rev up
Yeah.
Sonic real fast.
They had 6-button Sega Genesis.
Oh man. Okay. Hey, Mad Cats.
Mad Cats.
We're
I
sponsor
don't know
our
if it was
stream.
Mad Cats. I don't think it was a Mad Cats controller. That was just...
Fan Game Follies, sponsored by Mad Cats.
Hey,
Ready
I'd
to
take
get
any
that
sponsor.
cease and desist.
Speaking of cease and desist, you want to know what happened today? I got a call from a debt collection agency because I accidentally paid my Discover bill twice, and so I accidentally overdrafted my Associated Bank account. And I did not realize that. So I called Associated Bank today and was like, "Hey, can I just transfer money in there?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I got it solved, but I owed Associated Bank like $400, and I did not know it for like a month because I was stupid.
Oh
Holy
no.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's funny, but also sad. It made me
Also
scared,
sad.
but now I'm happy.
It's a lot of emotions in that. In the last.
Yes.
I'll build that after.
All right, I gotta do the Romani Ranch archery training.
Could you go get my glasses?
Okay.
In the mail.
There we go.
Also, I do.
I do need an arrow though. I think.
You need an arrow.
Possibly.
So you have your bow, but you don't have an arrow. Nailed it.
I think that's an air move that you can use with white mages. Sorry, I had.
God damn it.
Ooh, I get to hear about the aliens.
The aliens.
Oh my god.
Oh, Mad Cats went bankrupt after the failed revival of Guitar Hero. I had
Did
heard they went bankrupt, and I think, I wouldn't put it past Logitech to just buy Mad Cats, because Logitech just has this habit of buying controller manufacturers. They bought the people that made like the farming simulator controllers, and they just buy it. They're just like, hey, you have technology, we want it, I will buy you. So Logitech does that.
I mean, look. Mad Cats is a meme as far as I'm concerned. So hey, THQ Nordic came back. So why can't Mad
Does
Cats?
THQ... No, I have to look up who THQ is again. But
THQ
They're the
was
Darksiders.
And they did a lot of licensed stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, they totally
yeah.
went bankrupt. I don't remember why they went bankrupt. I just know they went bankrupt. And the Darksiders games are a really weird set of games. Maybe one day we'll play one on one.
Darksiders
I bought them.
is...
Oh, man.
Darksiders was like, I had a boyfriend in high school who was a super edgelord. And
That is
he loved Darksiders.
Relatable.
Absolutely loved it. Which is... That's why I called him an edgelord.
There we go.
One day we'll get a
until
new Saints Row.
Yeah. Sorry,
But
I put that in the kitchen.
we are getting new Darksiders games. Darksiders 3 was it was a Darksiders game. It was a Darksiders game.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go.
This is amazing. I've got Epona's song. which means now I can literally access every single area in the game.
Oh, good.
Hell yeah.
So this is all coming up, David. Today's stream is my comeback.
All coming up, David.
Yeah.
Coming up, David.
Like Milhouse.
I'm gonna roll. Hold on, I gotta roll this d20. Oh, it's David.
Oh,
I
David's
can roll.
one.
I
I'm
can
gonna
roll my
bring up
d30.
emo
Like here.
tracker.
Let me roll my d30. Oh my god, I got a
Bam.
1 on my d30, but it's David. David's the one now. What about my d24?
Here, I want to show you how much
3.
this opens everything up. So I'm going to disrupt my stream just to add emo tracker on top of it. I don't even care. So here, I should have just done this from the start. But I'm gonna add a window source, and I'm gonna show y'all. So you can see the broadcast version of emo tracker, but not the full. Sorry if you can see all this.
Wow. Okay, so now we're seeing the window capture settings. Yeah.
So
all right.
this doesn't look good, but
okay.
here's what happens when I add Epona song to the game.
Okay.
I can do so much more now.
Oh, wow.
So I have lots of availability, lots of things to do. Everybody, this is gonna be a good stream. Okay, now let's do that.
It's gonna be a good stream today.
Boots with the fur.
Boots.
I don't know what that was referring to, but I like it. Okay, I just want to get rid of this weird screen. There we go. Cat.
Alrighty, I am going to head out. Unfortunately, I have other things to do, and I have a PC to build, so I'm going to do that as well.
Like Henry Cavill.
You're building a PC?
I'm building a new PC.
What's your thing? What's going on with the
Yeah, what's
PC?
the
I mean, like,
specs?
what's the specs? Yeah.
I
Tell me
have
more.
10th gen i5 with a new motherboard,
Okay, gotta save the old lady.
16 gigs of RAM, but I don't have a new graphics card because there's no graphics cards available, so I'm just gonna use my old one.
Has the pandemic stopped the production of graphics cards? Were we in that?
No, bit miners, Bitcoin miners.
Oh, the
Bitcoin
market's even
miners.
worse than it is. Oh my god.
Bots?
Is the
Bitcoins.
NFT, is the NFT thing gonna make it worse? The already big shortage in the...
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a
no.
shortage. There's a Bitcoin farming with the 300s, with the 3000 series. And also, they just didn't have a lot of stock. So, everything's going wrong. But
Okay,
I will talk to y'all later. Have fun with your game.
Thank you.
And I'll be back next week.
You sounded kind. You're not actually a mom, but it sounded kind of like you're like, have fun with your game, sweetie. Sorry.
It's like you keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Have a good one. Bye, stream.
Bye. Thanks for joining. Hard Cell's asking, will younger people have memories of going over to a friend's house and having to use a jank third-party controller? I didn't go to a friend's house, but I did have one of those really janky GameCube ones. Really bad stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if anybody other than anybody younger will really have the experience of the Wavebird either.
What's the Wavebird?
You don't know about the Wavebird? You never had to use a
probably
Wavebird?
know, but I
Oh my god. It's the highest latency controller of all time. It's the Wavebird is a wireless GameCube controller.
Oof. Oof.
So if you can imagine wireless controller during GameCube and trying to play Smash on it.
Oh my god. Just as I thought, trash. That's how I respond to that. Okay. So I think... Actually, no, I can't get in because I don't have the hook shot yet.
I don't know about you, David, but I want a fully Wavebird only. Did the Atari 2600 really have a wireless controller? This is like, I want that to be true. Oh my god. That's kind of amazing, actually. So, alright, I take it back. There has to be at least one higher latency. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was a surprisingly good controller. I'm just hearing about this on the first
I'm sure there was
just
probably
now.
like experimental controllers before the Atari 2600. I don't know if there would have been like a mass-produced one before that. Okay, let's see what we get. A piece of heart. That's good. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh.
Oh. Nice. Cooked.
Gutted, rotted, gutted. People will know about the Soldier Boy. It's a TikTok thing now. It's a TikTok meme.
Is it really? Has it? Oh my god! Wow. Wow. I know it's bad. This is like the third time he's trying to do it. Second or third time. Oh my god, Ryan in with the Atari.
Hello.
Oh wow! It looks like a little hand radio. Oh, that's crazy. Holy crap. Oh man, physical consoles are just wild.
I like the paraphernalia with them, and I I know that that it's really big in controllers, right? The paraphernalia is now like having the unique controller. Is that? I wonder if it's as big of a thing for like other. Oh, with like the Switch, there's like the carrying case, but I'm trying to think of other like paraphernalia for like the PlayStation 4 or Xbox that were like. I don't know, because like the material cultures of games is interesting too, right? Like the
Yeah. I mean, so it's obviously I think sometimes consoles are more easily identified by their controllers than they are by their hardware. Especially,
the Wii.
maybe this is more true of things like the Xbox and the PS4. Clearly, the PS5 is trying to take a very different design direction for the previous ones. And I think Sony has gone back and forth on this over the years, right? Of trying to make their console more than just a box. Whereas as obviously Xbox is, the whole thing is a box. So, it's the controller is a very
in the name.
thing. Yeah. Although the first Xbox was a really, really artistically like interesting piece of hardware. Like I don't know, like booting it up, the menus. Oh my god! Like I'm never gonna forget how the Xbox menu looks. But yeah, I mean, it's not. They aren't Joy-Cons. They aren't the Wiimotes. They aren't even the Wii U. Which I think, like, I don't even remember what the Wii U looked like. I just remember what the giant like tablet, like cartoon tablet looked like.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So
cartoon tablet is a very good way of describing it.
Yeah, it's like the chat now of tablets. I think that's how I would describe it. But yeah, I mean, these things become iconic, and so Ryan said in the chat that skins are increasingly popular, and yeah, I mean, I think things like what's the website D something. I'm gonna find this.
I'm gonna mark that stuff off the map on my emo tracker. I wish there was some nice way of like automatically pulling this up while I was editing it, but I bet there is. But whatever. Okay, that's done, and that is done as well. I'm getting some awesome.
Yeah, D brand. That's the one. Also, good point. So risky click. D brand is the group that's been doing these skins that you place over your devices and stuff like that, and they've expanded their stuff out to phones and whatever else. But I mean, it's interesting. I don't know what to say about whether or not controllers mean the same thing, because just because they're still iconic doesn't mean that they have the same material function as they used to. And I'm inclined to think of a Genesis controller as being in a lot of ways emotionally different to me than something like a DualShock,
Well, yeah, and part of that, part of what, if you want to define what material culture is, right? But like people who study it also know that like basically kind of like how in architecture, right? Like architecture can inform like a preferred reading of it, right? And I think the same thing can be said of like other physically not manifested, but like physically constructed objects, right? It's trying to get you to interact with the object in a particular way. But personal experience, et cetera, can also change how that object is encountered.
Ooh, this might be a thing for you, David. Do you remember the N-Tech accessories for Game Boy and GameCube?
No, I don't think so. I never was really like a peripheries or an accessories kind of guy, so I'm not sure. First of all, my first console was a Sega Genesis, which I have no right to have used. I was born in '97, so that's kind of late.
Really, like, weird to have a Sega Genesis that late. But while I tend to think of the console wars as something that really is a Sega versus Nintendo thing, and not really progress that out into like Sony and all those others. My household was very much we bought the Sony consoles household. So I had a GBA. I had the Game Boy Advanced, which is my favorite Game Boy. The one that has the side, like the wide one with it was so ergonomic. It didn't have the backlight. I didn't have the SP. I think that's the SP. Anyway.
Ooh, I like the SP.
Peripheries for the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 are kind of a different matter. I had a splitter for the PS2, I think. Because the PS2 will only take 2 inputs. So you have to have a splitter, a third-party splitter to get 4 inputs into it for some. Or I think actually there were first-party splitters. I think for the PS1 there were definitely first-party splitters. I'm just having a moment with. I had a third-party splitter. I swear to God, it might have been a Mad Cat splitter. I'm not lying. I don't remember if it made splitters, but I remember the branding was obnoxious enough that it could have been Mad Cat's.
I didn't have the Mad Cat splitter. I did have the Mat Pat splitter, but that's a different thing.
What is the Mat Pat splitter?
It's nothing. It's just a stupid joke.
Oh, I see.
It is Thursday afternoons, and I have no tether to reality by the time Thursday's coming up. Thursday is my breaking day. Thursday is my breaking day for the week. Like, Friday is my class day, so then I can just like get into that and then do it. But Thursday is like the day before classes, and I can't do it. I can't do it. Anyway. What were you saying about Mad Cat?
Yeah, peripheries for the PS2 were just a different, and I think like it was a different experience, Mm-hmm. And I'm not just talking about like weird controllers, right? Like the Rock Band controllers or your DJ Hero stuff or whatever else. I am specifically talking about things like splitters, things like that were there to enhance the console experience as opposed to just being a controller. And I remember for one game, I think a rhythm game, there was literally a vibrator pack that came with the PS2. And I don't know what content we are allowed and not allowed to talk about on this stream, but I do know that there is some historical material evidence of people using it for unintended purposes. And I'll just leave it at that.
You don't say.
And then you get into like weird modern peripherals, specifically other consoles trying to keep up with the Wii, because I feel like people took motion controls way too seriously.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, right?
Did anyone have
I think
Kinects?
The problem with Nintendo is that people think of it as the popular. I shouldn't say popular. There is a line of thinking of like Nintendo consoles as gimmicks, but the problem is that I wouldn't identify it as a gimmick in the line of other gimmicks like the Kinect, because it is more thoroughly implemented within the design of the games, particularly the flagship games of the device, and within the device itself, where it's not just a periphery like the Kinect was, right? But like it was the sole purpose of the Wii. So like I don't think of it in the same line of a gimmick like a Kinect, because the Kinect was like an add-on, but the Wii was the Wii. for lack of better terms.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that's what it was. I was trying to think of like also like the difference between peripherals in the Genesis era. Like Genesis is such a good console to talk about when you're talking about weird ass peripherals, because Sega wanted that thing to just keep kicking. They did not want to kill that thing for the longest time. So like I didn't have a 32X, but I don't know if Ludo Scholar had a 32X. I don't know why anybody would have bought one other than it was like, oh my god, this thing's gonna make my stuff so powerful. I do have the Sonic and Knuckles pass-through cartridge. I don't know if you know about this, but you can take Sonic 1 and 2 and 3 and put it into the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge and then put that into your Genesis. And doing that will change how each one of those games behaves. It's a really bizarre thing that they added, and it's just like it's such a cartridge games thing. I don't think you could accomplish the same physical effect for the player. Maybe something with the Switch could, but like certainly not with a disc-based system.
Well, there was the Banjo-Kazooie tried to do this thing called Stop and Swap with the with Banjo-Tooie, its sequel, where you would play the game and you would unlock the secret, like these secret eggs or things, and then you would take out, oh shoot, I forgot. You would take out the Banjo-Kazooie game and then like put your Banjo-Tooie game right into the N64 afterwards, and they wanted to figure out how to program it where it would then like transfer the secrets that you got within Banjo-Kazooie to Banjo-Tooie, and the secret eggs that you got unlocked like secret abilities and things in Banjo-Tooie. But that system never worked. That system never worked on the Nintendo 64. Basically, it was kind of like trying to do like codes, but rather than code, inserting a code into a thing, it would be like you would have to have the physical cartridge, right? You couldn't just go online and find the code.
Yeah, I wonder if Sega patented the damn like cartridge design with the little flip up thing and locked that down. I have no idea about the history of that other than the fact that it's a thing that they did. Also, Ludo Scholar threw out that Nintendo, for better or for worse, is interested in expanding the concepts of play. I think this is important to Miyamoto in particular, and I figured you might have something to say about that comment.
Me?
Yeah,
yes.
you're the Nintendo guy between the two of us.
Nintendo guy. Right, so I grew up playing Nintendo, and I own every Nintendo console. I don't own the NES. I own like every like generation of console, but I don't own everything within that generation. So I have like the DS. I don't have the DS Lite, for example, or the DSi. But I think, like Ryan said, like Ludo Scholar says, right? It is, for better and worse, that Nintendo is trying to push what games systems can do. Whereas I would say with PlayStation and Xbox, what they're interested in is pushing what a game can do graphically. And I think Nintendo is more interested in doing what can systems do to affect what games are created for them. Which I think is a different approach to game production than PlayStation and Xbox. But like Ryan said, right, that also comes with its downfalls, where it's unfortunately not as streamlined of a process to play games sometimes. Like the Wii U was unwieldy.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
But the Wii U was like the transition to the Switch, and the Switch is beautifully done, I would argue, besides the Joy-Con drift. But like the handheld to full screen system is beautifully done on the Switch, and you would never see a company do that without the progress that Nintendo made within their production of systems. I shouldn't say never,
100%.
but I should say like Nintendo was more likely to do something like the Switch because of its past successes with more experiment in gameplay.
Yeah, I mean they'll take more risks than I think other companies will in that regard, because they've made it their brand to take more risks. I think they have there's probably a lot to be said about looking at the culture of Nintendo fans and their adherence to the brand and how that turns into corporate decisions. because obviously, you know, I want to make the comparison to the PSP. The PSP was a really interesting little system that just didn't get a lot of, like, the Vita especially did not get a lot of press.
No.
Especially since the PS4 they were trying to have it integrate, I think, with the was PS4 or PS3 they wanted to have the Vita. I think it was the PS4 they wanted to have the Vita integrate with, where you could take games on the go, a la the Wii U. And I know Sly Cooper 4 actually did play with that, although I'm not exactly sure to what degree. But all this is to say, Sony's out with, they're not making mobile consoles anymore. I think the Vita was their last one, and I completely agree, Cricket. I love my PSP. I will die on the hill that it is an amazingly powerful little handheld. I remember when I got it, I was like, I didn't know you could put that much power into a handheld. And for that power, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep did turn the console into a hot plate and did make it sound like a lawnmower. But I guess that's what you get for making a disc-based handheld system, which is kind of just bizarre on principle. But it was an interesting choice, and it just didn't. It didn't work out for PlayStation, and I think PlayStation has learned not to make those calls anymore. Or the Move, it didn't really work out for them.
Ooh, I got the massive sense.
But it also is worth saying that, like, I don't think PlayStation has made a innovative move that wasn't in some way directly influenced by a previous move by Nintendo. So, what are you in the console game for, right? Like, what does any of that come out to? Also, we have updates from both Cricket and Hardcell that apparently the reason the stop and swap didn't work for Banjo-Kazooie was because the RAM on the N64 was far less than Rare had expected. So, interesting stuff.
Also, can we talk, since we're talking about Rare and Nintendo, did you all see that meme where, it wasn't a meme at first, where there was that one guy and he was like, man, something like Conker's Bad Fur Day could never get made anymore. And I was like, good, because it was a bad game. It was like, it is not good, people. Not in like the humor or anything, which is just like fine, right? If you want to have a childish game, like, that's fine. While it's rated R, it has that sense of humor. But oh my gosh, it was so badly made. Anyway,
I mean, do you think the expectations of people who are playing games have, like, in terms of polish, I don't even in terms of polish. I don't even know how to describe. Conker's Bad Fur Day is such a weird game that, like, to be honest, I don't really have a way of talking about it. Like, there really is nothing else that, like, exists quite like it. I think it is incredibly British comedy. So, like, I can make some comparisons to, like, Monty Python, but I think that's just about it. And those are loose comparisons.
Yeah. Something honestly, you're gonna hate me for this.
Yeah.
The game I can see being most similar to it is probably Kingdom Hearts Recoded. In terms of or that No More Heroes batshit game.
Yeah.
The mix of various types of gameplay in the same game. That, like, those three games all do that.
Yeah, I think for what Hardcell's saying, I think actually Mel Brooks movies are probably a really good comparison here in terms of
the humor.
What we're talking, the humor. And you're absolutely right. I had forgotten about Suda51. He exists on the in the peripheries of my mind. And then somebody goes, "What about Suda51?" And I go. And then, like, I have that moment where, like, That's So Raven, like, I just reel back and see into the infinity, and I remember things like Shadows of the Damned exists, and I've watched, like, several playthroughs of it, and I go, oh my god, what have I done with my life?
That's how I feel. I watch, Ren, you've liked some of my comments on Weedle Twineedle's Twitter posts. I've watched so many Pokemon playthroughs. Not playthroughs, but, like, meme teams and that kind of stuff. It's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, continue.
I just, like, oh my god, I don't know what even to say about Suda. We gotta get some Suda 51 games on stream. We gotta like
Suda?
dive into some. Huh?
Suda 51?
Do you not know about this?
No.
Okay, so Suda 51 is the moniker of the dev who makes, you know, obviously again makes is relative, but authorship is also. So No More Heroes, Killer is Dead, Killer 7.
Oh, I played No More Heroes.
Yeah. Shadows of the Damned. These like really over the top, I would say even immature sometimes. Actually definitely immature. What the fuck am I talking about?
I made a face when you said he's the VG Tarantino. I was literally
Yes.
gonna say he's like Tarantino when Tarantino is making like an exploitation film, right? That is what he is doing. No More Heroes is an exploitation film made in the 2000s, but a video game.
Yeah.
But obviously,
yeah.
the I wonder if there's like a term for like that exploitation style genre within anime, or if that just is so common in anime that is just.
Well, Suda 51 is kind of like the guy, like you say Kingdom Hearts, and I go, okay, yeah. If I'm gonna make my anime game, sure, Kingdom Hearts is one kind of anime game, but No More Heroes is another kind of anime game. And like, I don't necessarily have the lexicon to talk about these kinds of games, but they are like fascinating to me that they exist. Like, and you know, I think there are charitable ways to interact with them, and then there's times where you just gotta say, yeah, No More Heroes, you do just jerk the Wii controller off to charge up the sword, and that's intentional.
But it's also, you know, but it's also a different approach than other like games that really like. It's a form of creation that still is like winking in on itself. You know what I mean? Like there's it's if you want to say like it's I don't know. I'm thinking of things like, I think Rampage is called one of them, right? But like the really bloody, like really ruthless games, that's a different genre. Even though it is like jerking off the Wii controller, right? But it's a different style. Like we might think, oh, that's shocking, that's, you know, grotesque, but it's different from a lot of other games that actually really do that.
I don't know how to sum up the conversations going on in chat, but suffice to say, there's a really good conversation going on in chat, and you should, if you get a moment to have a look at it, it is worth. But right now, this guy runs amazingly. Holy crap! And
sorry, I just
no,
got
I'm
excited.
fine.
I had another Markiplier moment. I got my bottle. That's what I needed. I forgot to do this the first day around, and that's exactly what I needed in my life. So this is exciting. So exciting.
Yeah. God, we were going through so many things. It's like, I don't even know where to begin. I will. So, I to roll back in chat, Hardcell asked me what I would do if Sam Barlow got the keys to make an Alan Wake game. And look, I don't know what I can say about Sam Barlow on stream. I'll suffice to say that like Sam Barlow making an Alan Wake game would be a very similar experience to that time that Sam Barlow made a Silent Hill game. I would not like it very much. I know Ludo Scholar likes Sam Barlow's work. I'm sure there are people who would enjoy a Sam Barlow Alan Wake experience. I am not one of them.
Just from the little bit I got in the I got in the Control DLC that I played, it feels like it's a different vibe, right? And like, I think even if you don't like a video game author or whatever, right, they still have a distinctive style, and the style to me is just distinctive. I personally liked Her Story. I really enjoyed that one, and it has its own kind of relationship with like digitization and the uncanny with digitization. which in some ways Control has, which then has with Alan Wake 2, right? But it's a different style, it's a different form of uncanniness. So I don't see them meshing in a way that would be creatively productive.
Oh, you never know. I don't want to
so.
belabor the conversation too much, but you never know. Sometimes you throw some weird creator into some weird environment and they just put out like something and you're like, holy shit, this is actually kind of amazing. I'm open to the possibility, but apparently I've missed the point, which makes me think this was some sort of joke and I took it way too seriously. Cricket did a really good job of here, I want to read this to you. This is Cricket's comment. Tarantino kind of exploits almost for shock value at this point, but Suda actually critiques the entire otaku culture. Not the American definition of the big anime nerd, but the Japanese definition of an anything nerd. And so to be honest, I have experienced Suda 51's games, but it was years.
Making me scared because it's using the Majora's Mask theme with the aliens right now, and it's making me freaked out. I don't like it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I played Suda 51's games I shouldn't say played. I haven't played all of them. I have played one of them, and then I have watched some YouTube stuff, another one, like 4 years ago. And one thing I've learned about my opinions 4 years ago critically is that they tend to be flawed because I was a very different person. So I don't think I knew anything about otaku culture when I was playing those games. I don't have a good memory of them. But David probably has a more recent memory of No More Heroes, or at least a better take on it to like engage the conversation here, I would think. Maybe
yeah. All right.
Sorry.
First of all, the part where he looks at a poster and just says the word moe to the screen is brilliant, and I don't care what anyone says. But right, the problem is with a lot of, and this happens with a lot of anime as well, is that the critique of something is not distinct enough from the reveling in it. And I think there's a way to revel in something while also critiquing it, but the problem is that too much reveling happens, if that makes sense, right? Too much like enjoyment of the trope happens rather than critique of the trope, and that's where I think a lot of these things, err. Oh no.
So it becomes a Far Cry 3.
Sure.
There's an addendum in I think it's Gaming Masculinity is the book by Megan Condis, I think I have the name right, where she talks about how a lot of the decisions in Far Cry 3 can be read as attempts to subvert the tropes of the shooter, but in the final decisions of that game, which I won't spoil for you, but there is a choice that is presented to you if you guys haven't played the game. It is a very strange choice. It has a lot to do with basically who you want to bang. It kind of goes in the other direction.
It is a video game, so.
Yeah, well, her argument is that it goes in the other direction, that by presenting that as the conclusion of the story, it goes back around simply to reifying the things it was attempting to critique.
Yeah.
And so I guess, is that the kind of thing that you're suggesting here with No More Heroes?
Yeah. And the same thing happens with a lot of creation in a lot of genres. But I think in anime, it's particularly because it is so much about tropes. That happens a lot, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and like Ludo Scholar says, right, part of it's pastiche, which there's a fine line, I think, when you're making genre pastiche. In terms of, I'm not saying there's a correct decision, or I am the only person who can make that correct decision, right? Because like with Django Unchained, I am not the right person to make that decision of like where it transgresses or where it like replicates racist stereotypes, right? I am not the right person who should be making that call. But from my knowledge of like being a gay person, right, I could talk about it a little more in like genre tropes of anime of gay people.
And like, this is also, I think, an interesting conversation. Is in the vein of like critiquing those kinds of cultures or those kinds of constructions. My I think before talking to you at all, my understanding of what constituted a fan game was like a direct link to whatever cultural product existed prior to the composition of the thing, something that could really cement it within fandom. But I mean, at what point does like a kind of abstract fan game occur? Like if you're a fan of, like basically what Ryan, sorry, I switched between using people's names and using people's handles. What Ludo Scholar said earlier was that honestly, we can think about Suda51's games as fan games. And so I'm wondering to what degree you think that is the case and what your opinions on that are.
Well, that brings up an interesting point, right? Because hi, I'm Ryan. Yes.
Yes.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I would say something like a Suda51 game would be more of a fan game than a licensed game of an existing media product would be. It depends on what we consider what a fan is. For me, when I talk about fan games, I'm talking about like in the scholarship that I've written about fan games, aka my thesis. I specifically said like it occurs outside dominant circles of production. Whereas Suda51 has access to dominant circles of production. A lot of these fan games do not, right? Like the people who create the Majora's Mask Randomizer do not have access to like get the kinds of producing and advertising money that it needs, to become a huge thing on a platform. Or they might be doing something technically illegal, right? So it necessitates being outside dominant production. However, my definition is not the definition, right? And so we can think of how is Suda51 acting like a fan game in this certain instance, right? How is it acting both reverent and critiquing of this culture, which is a big part of fandom, right? There's both fascination and there's fascination, adoration, while also something else, critique or something like that. There's this great quote from Henry Jenkins that I don't know for sure, but it's both fascination and adoration as well as frustration and something else, right? So it's never this really any piece of fandom, even if it's like we love Marvel, right? There's always some kind of frustration or some kind of critique upon what is being made within any kind of fan activity. And often, even if it's like this thing is awesome, what usually happens is that it's then fanboys that prohibit other people from liking it. Which is its own right, which is its own form of frustration with the product, because the reason why the gatekeepers gatekeep is because they think there's a field that people shouldn't get into.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting. And as a follow-up, Ryan throws out, how much does the identity of fan games come from it being outside of whatever industry it's relative to, basically? Like, and which I guess is like, I want to make sure I'm not like, straw-manning this, but my immediate thought is like how much of fan culture is defined in opposition to mainstream culture.
Yeah. Same with remix culture.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's always just an interesting, especially with the MCU. I think like so much about Marvel and Marvel fans of the cinematic universe, and like how much that, I think it's a fan culture that feels like it's become mainstream culture in a lot of ways.
But then you get a bunch of gay people only liking WandaVision because Catherine Hahn's in it.
Yes, that is a little different,
right? And then I retweeted it, and you liked it because my tweets are always quality. Follow me on Twitter.
Yes, they are.
Actually, I think it's really just David.Kutchik. But it was like, I really loved that WandaVision had this unique, interesting take on storytelling, which then just devolved into people shooting lasers and killing each other. and nobody actually paying the price for what they've done, which is the standard Marvel, right? And you can like it, right? But even for something as widely lauded as Marvel, people can still critique it and enjoy it at the same time. And I think that's part of what makes fan culture so interesting, is that it has that nuance implicitly within the culture in ways that scholarship often does not have. Where scholarship is often made to be directly critiquing, which in ways is very different from what remix and fan culture has, which makes studying fan culture very interesting. Because as much as us academics love to tell people not to talk in black and white...
Oh, no, yeah. Like, God, how many times on this server have we talked in... Like, we should have a running counter for how many times we talked in black and white about Marshall McLuhan.
Oh, yeah, totally. But it's also like... But it's like, I also love to critique him in the black and white way, because he still has the power. He still has more cultural capital than any of us do here.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Even
yeah,
though
he'll probably have more cultural capital than all of us ever will in serious play.
Right, so with him, it's like, painting his terms in black and white is the humor, right? Because he is seen to be this very wonderful person. So by, taking him down from that pedestal, that's where that humor comes from.
Well, he is.
But what often happens is that black and white critique of something gets reduced to humor, right? But so I think what often happens is, as particularly with fan production, you usually see either communities where what happens is there's often scholarship about people explicitly saying they're disappointed in something, or people explicitly saying they like something. And I'm particularly interested in games because I think the procedural nature of it lets somebody manifest both their critique and their disappointment in something in a way that often we're not able to access when just looking at conversations. I don't know a way to specifically talk through that in a meaningful way necessarily, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, and sometimes those feelings are valuable on their own, and you find a way to to put them into denotation later. And
yeah,
I don't know. I think if we as here, let me pontificate. If we as scholars get too wrung out in making sure everything is perfect on the first pass, then we'll miss out on a lot of good ideas that need to be worked out in editing instead of worked out before.
So my ideas aren't perfect.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
No, David. Everything about you is perfect, especially your tweets. Please go follow David.
Oh my gosh, Thomas followed me on Twitter, and I'm like, do I need to cool it with the drag race stuff? But I'm not going to. But I think everyone, Cricket GG7 talks how I think the tenor of Nintendo's approach to fan works has changed within the last 10 years. Especially and I only say that because my master's thesis was about a Pokemon fan game, a very popular, millions of downloads fan game, well known within the community, and I interviewed the creator about it, and she had this has been a 7-year project basically, hasn't received a single word from Nintendo about it, and there hasn't been a real cease and desist for a Pokemon fan game in a long time, a real one where it's actually getting into contact with the creators and telling them to take this down. There has been a cease and desist for websites that provide ROMs, which is a different form of fan culture, different form of fan labor than making fan games or fan mods. And there has been cease and desist for sites that host and allow people to download fan mods. But it's a weird thing in games right now, and I think the approach to it is shifting in a lot of respects.
We've gone two times where we've managed your master's thesis on this stream. Should we start jokingly plugging your master's thesis every stream? Get more downloads.
Yeah. I don't know the exact
Famous
website.
masterpiece. Oh man, God, I won't say who, but I was talking to an academic the other day, and they were like, "Well, have you read my dissertation?" I was like, "Excuse me." I don't expect anyone to have read my dissertation when I write it. Who reads
Nobody's
people's
gonna read
dissertations?
No.
Who
That's
does
why you.
that?
That's why you publish it as a book.
Exactly. It's just
And
never do that to anyone. Hey, Ludo Scholar reads dissertations. Yes, that's good. I'm glad that you read dissertations. I'm not. Oh man, I think the only times I've cited, this is probably really bad, but the few times I've cited a dissertation at all, which is very rare, it's usually just a chapter. I never take the time to read the whole thing. And it's just like, honestly, it's somehow more strenuous than reading a book. Like I did.
Oh, I like it better.
Really? Hey, oh man, it's really intimidating for me. I don't know why. Oh man, a dissertation of dissertations, Ryan. Yes, Artzel, it is definitely the scholar's version of Do You Even Lift? Have you read my dissertation? That, or like, and you know what Marx says or something, like some, or I don't know, Bakhtin was a riff for like a couple months in our classes. A lot of Bakhtin.
Yeah. Well, you get
I think that was just
disciples and you get interested in one thing. Every week for anthropology, I'm like, I should apply this to Persona 5. I think I've come up with a solid idea now. I'm gonna talk about how Persona 5, because right, this reading the Hertzfeld in particular and the Jenkins talks about how ethnographies try to establish themselves as objective observers, and something I've been thinking about is like, how does like Persona 5 construct the player as an objective observer of what Tokyo is?
Oh sure.
And how like literally part of the game is like, right at the end, spoiler alert, right, everybody in Tokyo is literally like worshiping this massive thing, right? And it's like, it is, and of course somehow only you as the player through Joker can truly understand what's happening in Tokyo. And in the game, right, by showing all these conversations, it's like only you can really deduce what the people are thinking and how that constructs Tokyo as a place and a space. And it resists it somewhat a little bit from like a typical like ethnography, if you want to think of it as that way, because it doesn't really it like both articulates speech acts as both embodied within particular individuals and not embodied within particular individuals, which does complicate things a little bit. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, the last choice you make in Persona 5, as I recall, as much as one makes choices in a video game, is Joker chooses for society, really, that they would rather be whatever the Phantom Thieves' construction of freedom is. They'd rather have that than whatever and again, like big scary monsters construction of their whims are. And I think in Royal, this is kind of done twice, even of people, there is, I think, like, now I'm definitely not going to sit here and be well, if people want authoritarianism, then obviously that's the actual choice. No.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, it is like, it doesn't present, it is a construction of freedom, I think, not as opposed to just like what we would call basic Joker society. Oh no, exactly.
Well, but it is interesting, right? Because by playing the game, you're basically deciding for the people that are residing within that culture what their culture means, right? And how they should, and I don't know. It's just it's something that's interesting to me and something I'm gonna write about. I'm also interested, but for me, it's like I'm interested most not in like the narrative function, but more so in like the interstitials, in the game.
Oh yeah. Well, just the interstitial build up to this like was what gives Joker that sense of, or what gives the player the sense that this is a decision I'm justified in making. I think that when I was playing with Persona 5, I felt justified to make that call. It felt like the decision that I was supposed to make. It felt like something I had earned the right to make. And I think those little interstitials build up to that moment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Right, and through constructing, though, like the interstitials construct Tokyo as both a space and as like a place, a splice, right. The form of conversation gives you this general vibe of like this is what Tokyo is as like an entity that speaks, if that makes sense. And then like you as the player, you're like, but Tokyo's actually going down the wrong path, so I'm gonna fix it. Which is also like, unfortunately, a lot of ethnography was like that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, Hard Sell. Yeah, there's a lot of like moments in. Now, I don't think any game can like really remove itself from the macro issues of the social culture it's working with.
Yeah.
But like, there are definitely a lot of moments with the palaces and everything where, you know, I do wonder how well things are really being handled. I think I really feel pretty firm in saying that one of the things that Persona 5 does not handle well is its discussion of consent.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where a lot of the places where it falls short lie.
The whole thing with like posing nude is just really stupid, but also like that stupid scene where he's like, all right, it's time to paint you, and then she's like, I'm in my 50 sweaters. Like, it's just so dumb. I recently with my follow the game detectives on YouTube. We have not posted anything in a while, but my friend Travis and I did do a little podcast episode that will come out sometime in the next year about Persona 5, and we talked about that, right? And that scene in particular where it's like, why can't it just be like something else? Why does it have to be that? Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, follow me on all my socials. And click the bell for notifications.
We got to get that little like thing that streamers have in the corner where it's like, here's all my socials.
Yep.
Lined up for
and
you.
Please leave a like. It helps me out a lot more than you think. I want to be like the anti-tuber.
What does that mean?
It's like anti-matter, but instead it's like I'm the YouTuber who like gets famous by deliberately not doing YouTube well. Like that's my ultimate goal.
I see.
Right, is I do so disastrously in following the conventions of the YouTube format that I somehow become famous for it. That has not worked and will never work, but it's something I want to do.
Yeah,
sorry,
Jim Sterling kind of did that, didn't he? Didn't they, I suppose. Excuse me.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, but in a different way, right? Like, there's one thing when you, it sounds like what you want to do is kind of its own a social critique as opposed to just being like, I don't agree with the way that this platform's run, so I'm going to just not, you know?
Yeah, I think right, the big thing is like and this goes back into fan cultures, so we can talk about it.
Hey.
But right, it goes into like the derivativeness of, I don't need this. I want to buy. Okay, good, I can. Right, how a lot of, cultural production is derivative. We talked about this, with Fuser. And how, there is no such thing as like pure, like, something, like there's no way you can invent something outside of the social historical moment you're within. And what really irks me with YouTube and things like TikTok, right, is first that it's fundamentally a great example of that, right? Because so many people are getting famous by literally saying almost the same exact thing. But the rate of that repetition is so charged now, right? That like you're able to develop the genre of what a YouTuber's influencer's video is going to be like, and that genre only needs like 3 years to develop, right? Oh no! I jumped off wrong. And yes, Hearts, I'll agree. Code Miko.
Have you seen Code Miko? Yeah.
I found some gold dust. Okay, I
This
need
is
to
like-
mark this as the gold dust location. Sorry. Anyway.
She's so interesting as a figure. Like I just found her like 2 or 3 days ago. I started watching like clips of her stuff, and like she's so absurd. Like it's like watching Gmod, but like that's the closest thing I can think of it. It's just like it's like Gmod straight into your veins. Anyway, you got gold dust.
Yes, and I need to. Unfortunately, I don't have any fire, so I can't melt the ice. So I'm just gonna have to mark this location, and I'm going to need to come back to it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pin it, which sucks because now I have to go back through all this stuff. But it is what it is. Okay. Or I need to be able to melt the ice in there in one day before the second day ends. Anyway.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I think I think Ryan's like spot on. Space Ghost Coast to Coast is a really good comparison to Code Miko. I think Gmod, like the kind of animation tricks you see in Gmod, the stretches and shrinks of proportions, that sort of stuff to create humor. Oh my god, it is just. It's bonkers. Like it's really like the VTuber stuff is really taking off. I saw Tamara on Scholars Play was doing some stuff with VTubers a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw that Kingdom Hearts stream. It's just fascinating to see not only VTubers exist in the kind of digital space in general, but then I think it's really interesting to bring the VTuber thing even just presentationally to a scholarly stream. Because we go back and forth all the time about like, what are we doing? Do we want to do face cams for these shows? Do we want to just do audio for these shows? I mean, we do a lot of shows with face cams, but every once in a while we do go back to kind of the radio approach. And, it's really hard. And the VTuber thing is just another piece of the puzzle. There's so many potentials that we could do with streaming and wow. Whew. Sometimes I watch other streams and I realize how like antiquated our broadcast strategy is. We run ourselves like a TV network sometimes.
Like I said, I like going on platforms and becoming famous because I don't follow the conventions. No, but yeah, totally. And what's funny is thinking of Hardcell's comments too, right? The VTubers that I know most are from memes, and because I am in the Banjo-Kazooie fan community, I guess you can say, like that stuff pops up. Like there was a meme of a VTuber named Corone playing Banjo-Kazooie, and that became like a big thing. So like I don't know VTuber. So like and Corone's a VTuber who's like a little girl, basically, which comes with its own obviously terrible implications. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I would say Miko is a VTuber, but not what you think of when you think of a VTuber. She does interviews. She's incredibly meta, and the way that she uses the VTube format is, I think, more to play with the extremes of avatarship than it is anything else. She's genuinely pretty fucking funny too. Like we're not here to just plug stuff, but I wonder how much, you know, this is VTubers are such an interesting thing, and I think, you know, State of Affairs VTuber stream, cool. What the hell are fan communities going to do with VTubers? I mean, obviously they're going to be
there's already so much fan labor put into VTubers as personalities / celebrities.
Yeah, well, I just mean like are we going to get? Do you think we're going to get VTubers that come out of fan communities, play a single game, and are of that game? You know, like to what degree are we going to take our embodiment in fan culture through VTubers? You know, like I think of VR chat, right? And like a VR chat is not like the. I think it's probably the closest thing I can make a comparison to right now. But like, you know, people embodying characters in that outside of the context of the game that they're playing is just a kind of fascinating beat. Ah, man, I feel like I'm just saying a lot of like, oh, here are some big questions that I have absolutely no idea how to answer.
And meanwhile, I have this giant pea hat coming to try to
you have seen too many of these things. They need to
things
stop.
They need to get out of here. I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. And I forgot.
Next Gen Second Life is a TV
like
show.
This at all.
You can do it. Oh, my God. This is... oh, no.
Rotted. I can do it. I just forgot. So the problem with having pea hats now instead of Deku Scrubs is also the Deku Scrubs leaves flowers that I can then use to go to the next platform. So I don't even know how I'm going to get to the next platform because there are no Deku Scrubs. So this would be fun.
That's what Harcel just asked. Yes, is this even possible?
We're going to try out. We're going to try it, and we're going to see.
Is this going to be, is this it? Are we day 2 of Fan Game Follies, and we're at the end of the...
already canceled.
Yeah. Quick, everybody go follow David on all of his socials and cancel Fan Game Follies.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Hard sell. I want to try and get this without. Just to see like if it can be done. Because also like this enemy thing is in beta, so it would be good for them to know like, hey, this is impossible to do.
Yeah, the soft locks. Soft locks are real.
I think it is possible technically. Okay, it is.
Nice. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yep.
Ah, it could be worse. Do you know there's according to, this is the other thing, I don't know if you were watching this episode of Scholars Play, but the last Kingdom Hearts stream, did you know that there's a Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer?
Yep.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, it's incredibly interesting to me how much fan communities are able to, like, stretch the definition of what we consider to be a randomizer. And then, you know, to fit the particulars of whatever game they're playing with. I don't know what game had, like, what was the... I assume the randomizer came out of, like, roguelike tradition to some degree, but I don't know what game had a randomizer first or what was the first, like, attempt. Do you know?
I don't know about the first. I'm sure it was an RPG of some kind, because I think that would be, like, the most... Oh, my... I'm so mad right now. You better clip that. And I better become famous, because I'm so mad right now.
Ah, that's pretty rough. Oh, that geometry.
I'm so mad.
Oh, man, if we one of the things I really want to fix for the stream is like figuring out a way that won't take up too much extra processing power to make sure we all watch the stream pre-latency, so we can get some of those good reactions. Because if I knew that was coming, I would have been like, ooh. You can't, like, I can't go. I guess I could go edit that back in, like,
edit your voiceover.
Go, like, ADR it in really hard, like an old, like, 90s Disney Channel original movie.
A decom. And honestly, it looks scary with the pea hats, but it's basically functionally the same as if, honestly, it might even be a little easier that the Deku Scrubs aren't there, because I don't have to worry about them shooting me down. I'm just mad because I don't like looking incompetent. This game makes me look incompetent.
Yeah, I can get some star wipes in there. I can ADR in all the sound. It'll all be dub, and we'll We'll add star wipes between every highlight.
Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay. Ow,
This is
hit.
peak platform direction, guys. This is why people voted me into office. For star wipes and hard, awful ADR. We'll record all the ADR with an iPhone.
If by stick star wipes you mean wipe the memory of sticker star from my memory, that would be good. I just
no.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna win, and that's gonna be our last thing for the stream. I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna shut up so we can enjoy you.
No, you should talk because I need to focus.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
F's in the chat.
You've got this. You can do it.
F to
And
pay
every
respects
time
right now.
every time that David fails, post one additional F to the chat.
I've only failed. Oh, I failed 3 times. Just kidding.
For every time David fails, a Mupplet gets its wings.
I heard the new Paper Mario wasn't. I heard the newest Paper Mario wasn't as bad as the others.
I don't know about God. I haven't played any of the Paper Mario games. I also haven't played Kirby's Epic Yarn, although it is the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Cute, yeah.
It's very cute.
Oh gosh, am I gonna die? We're gonna
As
see.
the others. Oh, you can do it. Come on.
Am I? Gonna
You
die?
look, dude. Either you're alive or you're dead. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So
Pete
like.
Burns. Oh god. Okay. This is the last one.
You can do it. You can do it.
No, I died. I need to wait till it gets a little further.
Yes, all the F's.
F's in the chat, please.
F's in the chat.
But this
Oh
is, but
my
I mean, like,
God.
this is, like, arguably, honestly, this is arguably harder than any challenge in, like, Majora's Mask. Beyond maybe some of the moon puzzles. So, like, I don't know, like, right, fan games and the emergence with these systems allows for this form of challenge within a world that you really adore, right? But by remixing it, by adding things to it and making things a little crazy, you can enjoy it on a harder gameplay level while still enjoying the aesthetics and everything else about it too.
Yeah, you can find new ways to hate the game.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm disappointed. I'm not hateful. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
You know, I think like the hardest challenge that if anybody's actually a fan of Cyberpunk 2077 in the world, which I realize is a big if, that like
There
I wonder
are people
if
that like it.
really they exist.
Eric likes it.
Does Eric really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of it. But I just think like I want to see people save some of the early broken builds of it and do and do like speed runs of the like hard broken game version. Oh my god, console version GDQ run of Cyberpunk 2077. Now that's what we need. That is true. It is still broken. Oh man. I guess you're correct.
Hey, I got another bottle. I got the milk
Yeah.
bottle. So at least there's
good.
that.
So wait, hold on. Have you gone to the milk bar yet? Can you go to the milk bar now?
No.
Oh, you gotta get to the milk bar. I won't look. Milk bar or Riot? I have also
seething.
dropped Cyberpunk. I think I'm over halfway through and I just dropped the game and I have not gone back to it. I really want to.
I think what I might have to do is I might have to go in and kill this thing first.
Yes.
And then go around. I think that's what
you can do it. Just take it slow if you need to.
They'll both automatically come target me, I believe, on the ground. I believe.
Okay.
Although I'm not completely sure.
I mean, you know, taking it slow is an option.
Plus, we're all having so fun that I don't need to end at 6. Although, technically, at 6:30, I do have a training session, so I do need to be gone by then.
No, I mean, why would you? This is your training, David. This is your life now.
That's true.
You are fan game Follies. There's no difference between you and the game.
Oh, I died. F's again.
So,
yep.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we got to strategize a little bit here. Do you think you can kill them without dying?
I can.
Okay.
The problem was I was at 1 heart when I went in there, so.
Okay. Well, you're 3 hearts, so. Well, you know, things are either alive or they're dead. So what do the hearts really mean?
Sorry, I cannot focus right now on anything.
No, it's fine.
Like this.
Come on, you got this. I'm just watching you spin to win. You could have fooled me. This could be The Witcher 3 with how much you're spinning to win.
I'm just trying to kill them without also getting caught by a guard.
This is a totally silent.
This is my ninja attack on the palace right now.
The 3 states: alive, dead, and mooplit. Yes. Oh no.
Was that one?
It's not. Oh god. I deserved that one.
There we go. Okay, those 2 are gone. I'm not gonna bother with the other 2, I don't think. Or should I?
Well, I mean, you only lost 1 heart there, so reasonably you could probably do it.
I should just do it. I should just do it just to be safe. See, and now when other people get the randomizer and they're like, what do I do with the P hats here? I can be like, just look at this Twitch stream. Just do it.
You can be the guy. You can be this. So you're telling me this is not just an academic stream, and it's not just a fan stream. It's also a tutorial.
Yes.
Yeah. So really, you're
doing
everything.
Should I make a game called I Want to Be the Guy, but instead I'll be like, but let's think about your rhetorical choices here. You're saying I want to be. You got to say I am.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I am the I want to be the guy's therapist.
I was gonna say, like, if you do that, I'm pretty sure you have to render yourself as Clippy.
Ooh, that'd be good. But I mean, like that. I mean, that is probably one of the first like viral fan games.
Clippy?
I would argue. No, I want to be the guy.
Gonna say, I mean, I consider myself a fan of Microsoft Word, but I want to check. Oh my God, Clippy VTuber, that's transcendent. We have to, that's it. Ideas will never get better than this.
Okay, that takes care of all of the enemies, so I should be able to get through it now.
So I guess you have to play I Want to Be the Guy then.
No, because I don't do well with. Oh my gosh, am I going to? Okay, good. I forgot if that took away a heart or not. I don't do well with like really tough, challenging platformers on stream. Also, my face is getting very dark. Sorry about this, everybody.
Well, it's just, you know, actually it looks thematically appropriate.
Yeah. I'm in a dark
also,
place in my life, so.
It looks like an old TV or something. Also, apparently, oh no, there are preemptive Fs in the chat. What have you done?
That made it respawned the enemies. Oh no! I'm just gonna do it once more. We're gonna do it. F's in the chat, everyone. My life is a struggle.
Oh no!
I don't know how I got through it the first time without that one hitting me.
You just go, just like, dude, don't think about it. Just do it. Don't think. Look, did I ever told you the story of how I beat Sephiroth on the first try in Kingdom Hearts 1?
You beat Sephiroth on the first try.
On the first try. I screamed the entire time. That's not a joke. I I was living in
Okay, we're turning on the light and we're doing this. I am not leaving this stream until I do this.
we I was living in VCU the honors college at the time, and David's off doing this thing. I don't know if he can hear me, but
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I prepared. I have the Ultima weapon. I'm probably gonna lose this. I'm probably gonna have to power level. Whatever. I'll just do it. And I went into the fight, and I didn't expect it to be as frenetic as it was. And how do I say? Oh, 36 hours from.
If I just need to finish this, I have 72 in-game minutes left. I gotta
do it.
Finish it by then.
You can do it.
Why isn't the other one coming to attack me?
Genius detection. Anyway, I literally screamed the entire time. I had no idea what was going on, and I managed to win. So I think the true like beauty of playing a game that's hard is just you got to scream, and you've got to not know what you're doing, and it'll just happen, because things either happen or they don't. That's how probability works.
That's true. What if I
also,
might have to bait and then go back? Like I'm gonna have to bait it to come get me, and then I'm gonna have to go back to the original flower, and then I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out.
You can complain about the game. That could help. Cricket offers a good solution there. And yes, Hartzell, I do remember that time Justin played Final Fantasy X on stream, and I remember that he messed up the jack shot. I don't know how you do that, but I remember he did it.
So you know how play can be emergent and fun can be emergent?
Yes.
So can anger. Although for some reason these pea hats aren't waking up, so I guess I'm not too mad. I'm nervous, but I'm not too mad, I guess.
Yeah, you just gotta. This is it. This is your time. You gotta shine. Now is it. It is now. Other aphorisms that I've read on a Nike ad.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just done did it.
Yeah, for some reason they're not waking up. Oh, they're inactive at nighttime, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I am also inactive at nighttime.
Ugh.
I need to
But this stream isn't.
Yeah, and you should follow it, and because David's socials are also not.
My stream is technically the one that goes latest, so you should definitely follow Serious Play on Twitch. We also have a Facebook page and a Twitter and a YouTube.
Or the stream. Oh, you're back! Thank God.
Me too. Okay, here we go. I'm finally
All right.
back. We made it. If I unlock this song and it's like the Sun song, I'm gonna be.
Come on, you got this. Oh, yes.
I got the Elegy of Emptiness. Nice.
Oh. Oh, man.
Okay.
Well, guys, all that work, and now we're just gonna die. How dare you get the Elegy of Emptiness of all things.
the creepiest song in the game.
Yes, now we have reached peak creepypasta.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to save in-game and then also just to do a... Ben drowned. Oof.
Yep, I could... If you ever want to know an extraordinarily large amount about Ben drowned, then I am the one who know. But not the one who know the most, just one of the ones who knows a lot. Also, just so you know, I the Ben Drowned guy is selling NFTs of the original WMBs.
What's an NFT? I need someone to explain this to me.
Non-fungible token.
What does that mean?
It is, I don't claim to fully understand it. I will say that it is a way of certifying that your digital that your digital thing
Ooh.
artifact
Thanks for
is
subscribing, Danger Chunk. Thanks for
Yes.
subscribing.
Thank you for subscribing. Look at that.
So what's this NFT business?
So it's like a way of saying that your digital copy of something is like unique, basically. But it's also cryptocurrency, and it's also I have heard some people explain it as putting your art on the blockchain.
Wait,
so
I've been hearing how it's bad for the environment. That's making me confused.
whoa, what? Why is it bad for the environment?
I don't know.
What?
That's why I was so confused.
It's blockchain. I mean, I guess like more power consumption from a bunch of random GPUs, but I don't know if that makes a big difference.
I don't know either. Well, just like the denizens of Clocktown, I have to go on my daily routine. And I'm glad you came here, Danger Chunk, but unfortunately I am ending the stream now. I'm going to learn how to judge kids as they try to act and do improv online, so this should be fun. But thanks everyone for coming.
Yes.
But I will see you next week. Hopefully next week I can finally like get to a temple. I could technically get to Stone Tower Temple now, but I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. So hopefully we'll get further along in Majora's Mask Randomizer. I think we're on a good pace to finish by the end of the month, so this should be exciting. Go out and enjoy the slowly warming environment. Oh wait, that sounded bad. It made me sound like climate change. I just mean it's getting warmer out, so go outside and get some sun.
Yeah, not the most opportune time. Maybe next time we'll talk about blockchain.
Oh yeah, Hartzell, I need the hook shot. I forgot. I need the hook shot. But anyway, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming. See you next week.